I'm a firm believer that preparation is the key to success. So I know this stuff's hard to get, and it really is hard to get this Protect powder coat, but God, it makes a difference. And each to their own. If you don't believe it makes a difference, don't use it. But we fish it side by side with uncoloured jig heads, just to sort of get a bit of a gauge on how effective it really is. And it really does make a difference for us. Really easy to use. That adds contrast between the base colour of the plastic and the head. It's like sort of like the same principle as a white lure with a red head. You're after that contrast. And that's how quick and easy it is. Heat her up in a few seconds, depending on what colour you want. I usually do a packet with half and half. Half one colour, half the other, and that boils down to what colour the water is. I change my colours based on what the water colour is. So these are just a few of the things that I'm going to be using today. So different colours. I've got a radioactive rooster there, which is, you've seen them in a lot of the videos. Motor oil on a day like this when the water's going to have a bit of colour in it because of all the fresh. Electric chicken, which is that typical pink green sort of a colour contrast. Pumpkin with red fleck. Then we've got our heads with orange and yellow on them. For some reason, finger mark and trout, and even grunter at sometimes, like the yellow heads. So always got them with us. Then we've got one of the metals. So that's one of the metals in a 55 half ounce. We've got a semi-hard, which is 60 mil. And then what do we got? Little spangle. Little spangly on that prawn. No real secret to what we're doing. Flick it out, let it hit the bottom. You'll know you've hit the bottom because your line all of a sudden goes slack. Once you've hit the bottom, wind up the slack, give it 2 or 3 flicks, bang, 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 like that. Let it hit the bottom again. And the reason I like this sort of fishing with the soft plastics is it's cheap. You can throw out a $20 or $30 lure out there if you want. We're fishing pretty snaggy sort of stuff. Plus you got to worry about getting eaten by sharks, busted off by big fish or whatever. You lose 2 or 3 lures, it's worth 30 bucks each. Now that starts to get a bit ordinary. Oh, come on. Decent fish though. This is on my heavy outfit. Try and get it in before these sharks. There's been a few sharks swimming around the boat, so it feels GT-ish, but the take wasn't like a GT. Now it feels very GT-ish. Oh. Yeah, GT. Come on. Get yourself eaten doing that. Not the desired species, but that's a fish. Oh, spike. So that's that same jig head again, same plastic. Feel must be a little heap of little grassies or sweeties or something down there, I'm feeling little ticks. But whenever you've got activity, like those little fish looking at your lure, the bigger fish, if it attracts their attention, they'll come in and bully those little fish off it and smash it. Hopefully. It actually happens quite a lot. Oh, you son of a... Right species, wrong size. How pretty are they? Vermin. These things are not the sorts of things that you want when you're throwing plastics. Barracuda. Very close to legal. Check that one on the measurer. It's good to see that many small trout around anyway. You do get lots of vermin doing this sort of stuff, but little fish like that, they still hit and they still keep you occupied in between decent fish. Telephone. This spot I'm casting here, I've caught so many big trout off it before. It's just a good spot. And I had a guy snuck up on me, a notorious guy for it. Snuck up and tried to get this spot the other day while I was fishing it. It's a piece of garbage he is. He does it to everyone. Got to keep an eye out for boats coming towards you. I've got it on footage, so if he does it again, I'll just put his boat up. Put it on the channel. It's not defamation, it's not hearsay, it's fact, it's on camera. And it's sad it's like that. It's the boats that have been this morning, you know, give a wave on the way past, they don't come in and try and ping your marks or anything like that. But there's always going to be those pieces of garbage that just want to come in and sit next to you and say it was their spot and I've had this mark for years, and come up with all the excuses while they're sitting there marking it on their sounder. They think you're stupid, but fishermen have got long memories when it comes to that sort of stuff. Return the favour down the track to them. The size of this big fella swimming through here. Big turtle. He's coming in to check out the boat. I know, river trout. Everyone calls them river trout. I think he got me in the snags there for a second. I was lucky to get him back there. Toothy critter. Stop it. Look at the gob on that thing. Make me nervous sticking your finger in that mouth. There he goes. Now gold spot. Cod day. Stop it. Ow! This wire is gone. They're tough. A lot of people that eat them, but it's not my thing. That's all. I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. Oi, another trout following him. I hope the camera picked that up. No, it didn't. Spot lock it here. Another nice trout. It's that glassed out. When you look off in the distance, the camera's not going to pick them up. When you look off in the distance, if you keep looking the same direction long enough, you'll see a fin off a fish or a shark, or but like hundreds of meters away. We got sand bass. Give me. Member of the barramundi family. Pretty little thing. I don't think they've actually got a size limit on them, but it just feels wrong killing one. That's the one we want. Oh, just threw me plastic over the side. This is the one we were after. He flicked me plastic off. Good eater. Nice eating size trout. Same lure, same jig head. Bloody caught it. Stop it. Much nicer one, that one.